Awesome. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to our first Empower Hour of 2025. Um, Post-conference, we're all coming off of learning so much about agritourism, and hopefully there are some things that you learned if you attended the conference. This Empower Hour, we're talking about spring events and Easter on the farm. So we have lovely Michelle and Victoria Patterson here with us from Patterson Farms. And then we have Marissa here from Millstone Creek Orchards, subbing in for the amazing Beverly, but equally as amazing Marissa. So feel free to ask any questions. Oh, there she goes. I see her. She popped in. She doesn't have her camera on. Feel free to ask any questions in the chat. I will make sure they get said verbally to our guests, or you can just come off mute and ask your questions yourself, however you would like to do that. But I would love to just start off, Michelle and Victoria, if you want to give like a quick, 60 seconds about Patterson Farms and a little bit of your history and what you got going on for 2025. That was a lot for 60 seconds. You can take however long you would like.
That's okay. Michelle, do you want to go or do you want me to?
You go ahead.
Okay, so I'll try my best with that. I'm Victoria. I am part of the fourth generation at Patterson Farm. We're located in China Grove, North Carolina. So about 35, 45-ish minutes north of Charlotte. We are a produce, fruit, and vegetable farm. And we also have our agritourism operation, which has a retail market, homemade ice cream, and we offer field trips as well as festivals or events where we open up to the public. Some of the events we have planned for spring or trying to frantically put together, it feels like, as this winter went by so quickly, are we grow strawberries as one of the crops that we grow. So we offer pick your own strawberries each spring season. So that'll be a big event for us. We're also doing Easter egg hunt, and we're hoping to plan a baby animal days type event. So those are some of the things we have in store.
Awesome. Awesome. Marissa, you want to give us a rundown about Millstone?
Sure. So we are, and I think a lot of people on the call know, but I'll still give for those that are maybe listening to our recording later, but I'm Marissa Devine. I'm the general manager of Millstone Creek, and we are in Ramsor, North Carolina. We sit on about 84 acres and do a little bit of everything from blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, to peaches in the summertime. And then our main season is fall with apples, pumpkins, and then we have expanded to Christmas a little bit too. But as far as spring, we've been in the spring business for numerous years, and our spring season is really focused a lot on peach blooms because they're that beautiful pink bloom. A lot of people mistake them for cherries because they look very similar, but we do photography in peach blooms. That's a huge thing that we started probably in 2018, 2019 or so, very small, and it's grown substantially over the years. We do mini sessions as well that we hire photographers, and then we bring in clients for mini sessions through the orchard. We added a couple years ago more of a public event because people wanted to come see the blooms without just photography. They wanted to snap some pictures on their phone and explore them too. And we added in cow cuddles last year because Highland cows have become all the rage. And then we throw the Easter bunny in there too when it's the right season, and Easter's earlier or later. So we plan accordingly there. And then we started to do an Easter event with the community a couple years ago, partnering with the town of Ramsor or some other local businesses to do an egg hunt that we host. And then it's transpired. And so it's become more of our event throughout the last couple years. So we do that on Easter Sunday. And then this year, last year, we opened the Cider House, which is our new on-site restaurant, cidery with hard cider, beer, wine, some specialty cocktails, but we are doing our first adult Easter event this year, the week before Easter, and we are super excited for that too. So lots happening, but always lots of fun.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thanks both of y'all for sharing that. We'll start off with some questions and see where that takes us. What are some of the trends that you have noticed that your visitors expect or request from you in the springtime?
Victoria, do you want to start, or Michelle, since you guys kicked off the last one?
We can. That's a hard one.
I will
Michelle,
say,
do you have anything?
I would just say, I think that of course, people are looking for experiences. So for us, of course, with strawberries, people don't understand necessarily season still, since they're kind of removed. So we've been getting a lot of calls about being able to come pick fruit. But I think that in general, people are, like Marissa said, they're looking for like animal encounters. And I would also say photo ops are what we see, as well as some unique food experiences as well. I would say it's what I feel like is trending. Y'all might have more you want to throw in there, but that's kind of what we see.
No, I definitely agree with the photo op part. People are coming to us consistently wanting different photos that they can post on their Instagram or Facebook saying, oh, this is what my family and I did this weekend. And so we're always trying, even not just in the spring season, because the blooms kind of speak for themselves and they're unique to the farm, but in other seasons of, okay, what photo ops can we do here? Or is there a consistent photo op that we can do year round where we just theme it to the season, which we're working on right now. The other thing that I would say for trend, and I don't know if this is a trend or just more people's expectations are becoming higher and higher with the value that they're expecting from each of our experiences, but they really want to feel like whatever ticket price they're paying, and a lot of things, most of what we're doing now does have some sort of ticket component to it, and it's helped us dramatically with planning for staffing and being the most efficient with how we're using our time and our resources on site, but is making sure that they're getting a great value for their experience. So what different elements can we add to the event, whether it's an education? So like Michelle said, people don't know the seasons. And so they call us in the end of December, do you have apples to pick? And we're like, oh no, that was back in September. Or they'll call us in March asking about picking something too. And for us, we don't start the U-Pick season until June. So adding that like educational element to it too is something that I think more people are wanting to know, is how their fruit is grown, where it comes from. And so we're trying to incorporate that into our spring events, because it is all about the blooms and the baby fruit and things of that sort.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I mean, speaking on that, the theme of trends, are there some things that you are hearing from your customers or seeing that you're like, we can't do that right now? Like, what limitations are there around spring events that you have noticed?
One that I don't know if it's a limitation or, again, kind of that lack of knowledge, is they expect some of our products at different times. So like, for example, we had somebody for peach blooms reach out to us in February. We're like, oh, my client wants to host a peach bloom session on March 2nd. Can I book that day? And I was like, I would love to have you that day, but we won't have peach blooms on March 2nd. So you're going to have a dormant tree. So that in some aspect, I guess, limits things, is based on when everything blooms or when we harvest. It limits the availability of like when certain people can come. I don't know if that's necessarily a limitation, but that's one of the challenges that sometimes we face, is just educating again around the process of how everything happens. I don't know, Michelle, Victoria, any other thoughts that you have for like limitations?
We definitely run into that too with our strawberries, especially. And that's why for us it's really good. We try to plan things like an Easter egg hunt. Like, we can know those dates and we can advertise them, and it's giving something for people to anticipate and look forward to. while hopefully they know in the back of their mind strawberries will be coming soon. But we've gotten calls a lot this week as it's been warmer, people wanting to go ahead and buy tickets for strawberry season and not really understanding why we haven't posted those yet. And it's because we're not able to advertise a start date until it's closer. So that's definitely a challenge. As far as other limitations, I'm not really sure. I'm gonna have to think on that one. It'll probably come to me before the end of the call.
The one thing too that we've found helpful and around like, I guess the anticipation component is we started this a couple years ago because we messed up really bad with our bloom photography, where we in January we're like, oh, the peaches normally bloom like the first week in March, so like we'll go ahead now and put out all our photography dates. They'll bloom the first week in March. What could go wrong? And the peaches did not bloom the first week of March. I think we were like closer to the end of March maybe that year. And so we had to go to each of the photographers, go to reschedule them. They had to reschedule their clients. If they couldn't reschedule, they had to refund. So it was a real big headache for them too. And when we're focusing on guest experience, a really poor guest experience component there. So we have started to do like a Google form where we reach out to everybody via social media, or if they've previously done photography with us and said, okay, we know you guys are wanting those blooms and you're anticipating them. We can't judge right now because we're way too far off and we're still really cold and haven't seen any movement in the trees. So like fill out this form and we'll update you starting in the middle of February with updates. And so that has really helped us to educate and also be able to answer their questions by giving them updates on like what we're seeing and things like that. So Victoria, I don't know if that's ever something you guys have thought about for strawberries, or it's just different because of the nature of like photography versus you pick.
No, that's a great idea. I love that because it's also building anticipation for them, and I'm sure they have clients that are asking too, when can we do our blossom photos? So no, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. So, I mean, it sounds like you're not only educating the customers coming to you, you're educating your partners, like these photographers or any other business that is, supporting you all as well, on what their customers can expect. So, I think that really builds confidence in, your ability to show up for them, and their ability to show up for their people. So since we're talking about educating and getting ahead of the game a little bit, what are some of the best ways that you found to promote your spring and Easter events, whether it's like the platform, the timing? What do you think?
We can talk about that. I will say one more like limitation that kind of feeds into that is time, because it's often hard if you're trying to pull off a spring event after being closed for the winter. And it's just to take that into consideration as you're planning. It's like getting everything up and running. You've winterized stuff. I mean, we had snow the week before, snow flurries the week before, and now it's 80. So, that's a challenge. And also as you go into marketing, it's kind of hard sometimes to promote the spring events whenever it is snowing and people are, thinking about sledding and stuff. I say that, I think that and Victoria can talk more about some of the things that we've done, but I think that we have learned, especially like, we're kind of short on spring because but I think because, it's hard, right? For us, we're almost a year-round business now. So it's hard for us to do the stuff in the winter to really get prepped for spring as we're doing other things. But we've really pushed out even summer stuff this spring or this winter. We've already done like our summer camps and summer educational field trips that we have. And I think that we've already had a really good response for that. So I think us personally, we're a little behind on the 8 ball of doing that. But I think it is important that you get the word out as soon as you can. Because I think you have a good bit of the demographics that do plan a lot really far in advance, and then there's the others that are last minute. So that was
Okay,
kind of a very random answer.
no,
Rambling.
that was I mean, that was so on point. So you're saying that right now in the spring, you're already promoting your summer thing,
Mhm.
even though, you know, spring hasn't even happened yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think to Michelle's point, it also kind of depends on what the event is with how, I mean, of course, it's always better to put stuff out as soon as you can, but like with something like summer camps that she was referring to, that we posted that like at the end of January, and we were surprised how many bookings we were getting. But I think like a parent that's planning for summer activities for their kid or summer, you know, kind of coverage, like, oh, this week they're at this camp, check. They're going to be planning ahead more than somebody that might say, oh, let's go pick strawberries sometime in May. But of course, it's important to get it out, you know, as soon as you can, either way. But some of the things we've done with our marketing, we do work with a marketing company that helps us with a lot of our social media. So we're pretty active on like Facebook, Instagram. We do have a TikTok. We're not as active on there, but we would like to be more active and posting, you know, videos. I think that's kind of always a goal of ours because we feel like it helps with engagement. So those are some of the social platforms we use. We also utilize, like in terms of our field trips and summer camps, we do some physical like postcard mailing, but we also use a lot of email blasts. So we do have an email list that we'll use, and we collect email data from our online tickets. So with a lot of our events, we do offer online ticketing. And we've started to, at the bottom of every page where they check out, we ask, would you like to opt in to future emails from us? And if they do, we add them to that. So I think there's always room to grow with that. Still, our fall, I think, is a little bit more popular than our spring. So I think a good goal would be to try to pull all those fall visitors and maybe send them a special email inviting them to one of our spring events, and maybe offer a small coupon or something like that to make them hope they'll come back, kind of thing. But I'd be interested to hear what they do at Millstone too, marketing wise.
No, I would say we do a lot of very similar, and I love what Michelle said earlier about it's really hard to market to people in January for certain things because they're not thinking about Easter in January when it's like snowing outside. So we do see it's like interesting to try to watch the psychology behind people purchasing things and when they purchase it and like why and things like that. I always find that really interesting. And we have been trying, one of my goals this year over the winter was try to be proactive. So as people are on our website, whether they just Googled peach orchards or apples or anything like that, to have a lot of our events already on there. So as people are just scrolling through, oh, what do you have? Oh my goodness, they have like you pick peaches in July. Let's make sure to put that on our list for something to do this year. Or like, so they already can start thinking about maybe potentially future cool things that they would like to see while they're checking out something else. So I've really tried, I think one of the biggest things that we make sure that we have up to date as best as we can is our website, because it is that like home base for what people really go to, no matter kind of what age or demographic. I think when they Google you, they go to your website first and kind of see what's happening. And then it has all our contact information and things of that sort. Our other big platform that we use is Facebook. So we do both Facebook and Instagram. For our social media, Facebook is probably our number one, and we post on there numerous times a day, trying to do no more than 2, because I do feel like more than that is a lot, even though Facebook algorithms sometimes don't show you things based on when you post, but rather what you like, and then trying to preference it that way. But we do a lot with Facebook. We've also done some Facebook events that we have found successful because of people putting interested, and then it markets it to their friends. Oh, Victoria's interested in this, and then I see it too. And then it kind of reminds them when events are coming up. So I like that component. So we've tried to do that a lot more as well. And then we do a lot of Instagram. We don't really do a lot of TikTok, although I would like to get more into that TikTok, Instagram reel. I think people are really into like the short content videos still. And then another way that we've promoted a little bit, and this is more local, is we do our Heart of North Carolina event calendar. And so we post specific events to our tourism's page, and they promote a lot of stuff. They use that to promote on their tourism pages, and they also use that if they have like writers or media people coming or influencers coming into the area. They use that to see like, oh, how do we plan an itinerary? And so it's another way to get other people to the farm that we might not have had contact with, and then they promote us again to their area, and they have different followers and things of that sort. So we've been really thankful to have great tourism connections and partnerships that have helped us a lot with marketing. And the one other thing that is really successful is our email too. So we have a customer email that we do each week that has a good following, and we add people from our ticket page too, based on their interest in learning more and getting other information to us, which I always find interesting when we send it, and to see people like start to book tickets. It's always nice to be like, okay, this worked. So
Yeah.
we try to do a couple different things.
That's awesome. I just wanted to point out some things that were, I guess, off social media marketing, because, you know, I feel like nowadays when you hear marketing, you think social media immediately, when there are so many other ways to market. Victoria, you said postcard mailers. I think that is a huge opportunity to reach local people. The email marketing from online ticketing, both of you, you know, said that you're capturing those emails. You're very likely segmenting them, and you know exactly what person bought what thing when they bought it. So when you're going to have that same event the next year, you can say, hey, remember you came here and you had a great time, come back. And then the local tourism, you know, not only for your area, but I'm sure for the state. I think that those are some ways that people can think a little bit outside of the box. Yes, social media is free, but we all know that it takes a lot. So there are some ways that we can, you know, get to the people around us, that, you know, might cost something, but might be lower effort at the end of the day.
The other thing I would add, and I guess I'll do a plug for the like Heart of North Carolina Farm app too, is we have our extension office. They take our social media and kind of peruse through it, and then they push content for us from them to the app to kind of promote through the app for people that have downloaded or in our area. So that's also a little bit more of a unique type of marketing that we've tried to do and have seen a little bit of success, or visit NC Farm app, I should say, as Beverly, make sure I say it right. Thank you. Visit NC Farms app. So
is that what you were?
Yeah.
Look, I'm taking notes. I'm like, I gotta look up Heart of NC.
Sorry, wrong. Too many Hearts of North Carolina things in my head. Visit NC Farm app. But our extension helps a lot with pulling content from our social media to push through the app, which is really nice for people that are either trying to plan itineraries based on local things in the area, or like if they get push notifications because they're in a certain radius. So the Visit NC Farm app has been helpful for us, and it's always nice to see when on our tickets we ask how did they find out about us, because it helps to plan our marketing for the next year. Of was it a social media, was it website, was it customer email, was it other, and then in other they'll put like Visit NC Farm app or magazines or something like that. So it's always nice to see.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so what is one unexpected way that you have generated revenue during your spring events? Something that has just surprised you.
I don't know. For Michelle, Victoria, anything that comes to mind off the top of your head, I can answer, but I'll think a little bit more on it.
For us, we've we've been surprised, I think, in a couple of ways with spring sales. And talking a little bit earlier about the timing of things. I worked really hard in January to post our spring birthday party pages. And as soon as I did, like the next day, somebody called and they were like, but we want to book a party for November or something. And I was like, oh, wow. So, like, kind of again to that, I was surprised, I guess, in the off season by how certain events some people are planning so far ahead for. So, that would be one little thing. And I guess like something like a birthday party or a summer camp is a little more, you need to put that on your calendar in advance. Some other things, I guess we're hoping to be surprised by trying to offer some more add-on options to our spring event. Historically, like with our egg hunt, we've had like a child price, an adult price, and we're still gonna do that. But giving people the option to spend more money if they want to. So trying to really enhance those add-on things, whether it's an experience like an extra come an hour early and visit with the baby animals, or something like our giant slide, or doing paintball, or buying homemade ice cream online with your ticket. We're really trying to emphasize that this year. We did that a little bit last spring, and we were very impressed with how many more people, for example, when they bought their ticket, if our gem mining bags were on the ticketing page, we had a lot more traffic to our gem mine. So we don't have a whole lot of data, since last year's really the first spring that we did those add-ons. But we're hoping that trend continues. And if it does, I guess it won't be a surprise anymore. But those are some of the things that come to mind for me.
No, I love that. And I would be so curious of how the add-ons work for you guys, because they talked a lot about it at NAFMA, I think, with Ticket Spice, because we use Ticket Spice as our app. And then with also at A&A, they talked a little bit about it too, because Ticket Spice was on our bus. So I'd be so curious of like logistically how it works and things of that sort. Somebody was saying, oh, we added lemonade as like a thing that you could purchase with it. And we sold 7,000 more lemonades, or $7,000 worth of lemonade. It was like wild.
Yeah. I think there's a little bit of like I've heard it. I don't know the validity or the statistic, but that if people buy something ahead of time online, when they get there, they've kind of forgot that they've already spent that money. Yeah. And so they'll buy stuff again, I guess. So
yeah.
I
remember Alma saying that.
Yeah.
And I think that's right, because even like people that buy tickets in advance, they're like, oh, I spent X dollars on the tickets, but then they forgot about how much money they spent on the tickets because they bought them a week ago or 2 weeks ago. And so when they get on site, they're like, oh, yep, my budget for this might be X dollars. So they like the money they spent is already gone. I would say for us, our biggest surprise has been spring tours for group tours. And I forgot to mention that when I talked initially about introducing the orchard. We do a lot of fall school tours, and that is our big area with apple cider, and we do a cider press demonstration and apple tasting, and the kids get apples to take home. And so we really last year wanted to expand our spring season, because there's only so many people we could fit in the fall. And so we were looking about how we could expand our tour season outside of the fall, whether it was spring, summer. And so our spring one really blew our mind, and we had great success with the content. We talked a lot about pollinators, because we do spring blooms. So we have peach blooms, we have apple blooms, blackberry, blueberry. And so we would visit each of the different blooms with the students, talk about the different types of pollinators. So honeybees, bumblebees, hummingbirds, butterflies, like all this stuff. So it was really cool, really educational. We did a honey tasting with it. The teachers loved it because it was a little bit different and unique, and they really got to see like the stages of the fruit growth from, if we were, depending on where we were in the season, they could see some apple blooms, but then we could go over to the peaches, and the peaches already had baby peaches on them, so the kids could feel the peaches. So it was really cool, interactive, educational. And we had a couple school groups last year. We I think experimented, if I remember right, with homeschool days for the first time. And I think we got the homeschool day idea from you guys, Michelle and Victoria, because we had so many homeschool groups that would book our tours and they'd be like, oh, we're going to come in with 80. And then the day of, they would come in with like 15. And so we started to do homeschool days. So for groups that didn't have this big number for their own tour, we would block off a couple of dates and they could book online. They'd pay in advance. So no matter if they had just 4 or they had 24, they could join, and it would combine homeschools from a bunch of different areas of the state that they got to kind of have this journey and experience together as a homeschool family. So we did those in the spring, and this year they have blown up. We actually started with, I want to say like 2 or 3, and now we have almost like 2 a week because they have done so well for our spring, and it's called Blooms and Bees. So it's a lot of fun, and that's probably been our biggest surprise.
That's awesome.
I love that y'all took something that you did and you know, created an educational opportunity about that. We do a lot of field trips, and they're a lot of work, but that's actually what we started this week with a field trip, and ours is about dirt. You know, as you're prepping and getting ready to plant things and all of that, and I mean, it's just another it's another revenue stream. I mean, we're not going to retire, but you know, we're, you know, with our dirt on dirt tours and all of that, but it does provide an opportunity, and we have a lot of fun coming up with new curriculum to match things that are happening around the farm. So I would say whatever you're doing on your farm, there's an opportunity there to make that an educational opportunity for kids. And we've actually had a good many, you know, a lot of our field trips we're typically geared for like preschool, kindergarten. Our dirt on dirt is targeted towards 3rd grade. We have some that are 4th grade. But we have a lot of senior groups as well that have been coming out wanting to do a field trip or come out and do something, at least take a wagon ride and all of that. And I've had a couple of high schools recently that have reached out. So we're trying to put together some opportunities for them as well. So tell your story, because I know all of you are doing great things out there. So
yeah. By senior, do you mean like adult seniors?
Adult seniors, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll give kudos to Michelle and Victoria. They have an amazing lineup of field trips. Like if you go to their website and you see all the different things, you guys have done such a great job with like thinking about how to incorporate education with what you are doing on your farm for the school. So you do a great job.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you.
But I also think the one thing I'll say with tours too, that it's allowed us is a weekday revenue opportunity, because we do a lot of stuff on weekends, and we have the Bloom Bunny and Cow Cuddles event, and we have the Easter events and everything of that sort. And so weekdays for us have, especially in the spring, historically, we're really quiet. And so these tour opportunities allow us to bring guests out to the farm during the weekdays to give that like extra revenue during our spring for us is a quieter time compared to fall. So it's been a really nice weekday revenue generator, bring people out, then they come, they have a picnic, they spend part of the day with us. So it's been really helpful to expand our spring.
Yeah. One of the things, you know, as I was looking on y'all's socials and websites to prepare for this, one of the things that surprised me that I would love to hear about from you, Victoria and Michelle, the season passes.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
How long have you been doing that? What brought that about? What need did you see that is filling?
Oh, well, Michelle might be able to answer how long we've been doing them. I've been helping with them for probably 3 or 4 years. Michelle, have we done it much longer than that?
We yes, we did. We did it so when Victoria started, a lot of that started around COVID, and we had been doing Ticket Spice. We were with another platform prior to COVID that we had been doing some online ticketing as well. So we had done a season pass. The ability that that we have to do it now. I think we always, every year we learn something. And so I think we've done, it's just continues to grow. It's something that it's been great that we've been able to also offer to our employees. That's one of their employee perks is we let them pick like 4 people to give a season pass to, so that their families can come out and enjoy the farm, their friends and family as well. So that has been well received. It's also a great thing to do if you're having to do a promotion where you're giving away something or somebody calls for a donation. I mean, if honestly the value of the season pass means a lot more to them than your actual dollar value that you're putting into it, because usually they're going to come, they're going to buy something else or something like that. But Victoria can, they've been working hard on season passes actually this week, so she can tell you a little bit more about how we're setting all that up.
Sure. So we have really enjoyed every year trying to improve and learn from our season pass program. It definitely has grown throughout the years. We currently work with Ticket Spice as our ticketing platform. So they have the ability to, you can sell a ticket. So we have it as the season pass. And they can you can set it up where they can scan it every day for a year or something like that. So technically these guests are able to come every day that we're open. We kind of have moved to we call it an all season pass. And so that's the most expensive one. And we market it that they can come to all of our events throughout the year. So we typically open in like mid-March or early April. And we're open normally until about mid-December. So that ticket gets that admission gets them access to any of those events throughout the year. We also offer them 10% off of any purchases on site. So they get a special like VIP gold armband when they come. And we mail them a physical pass that they can show that says like 2025 season pass holder. So they get discounts if they buy something on site. They get the free admission. We also offer them special discounts on things like birthday parties, summer camps, if we do any like special classes or workshops kinds of things. So that's been really fun to do and promote, especially as we've tried to kind of move to be almost a year-round business. So every season, spring, summer, fall, winter, we try to have something to offer. And that's something that's really nice for us to be able to promote. Typically, like, after fall, we do a little bit of winter Christmas stuff, but then we actually close down for like 2 or 3 months. So starting right after Thanksgiving, we start promoting that the season passes for next year are on sale. They make a great gift for family or friends. And we normally do like a discount, and we'll like decrease the highest discount would be right before Christmas. And then we'll offer a smaller discount in January, February, and then March is like last chance. They can still buy a season pass anytime, but just like at the discounted rate. So it's something extra for us to promote kind of in our off season, because people can go online and buy a pass even if we're not open.
That's awesome.
I love that. That's such a great idea, and what a nice way to like promote kind of all that you have going on all the time and get people to hopefully come back multiple times a year.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love the whole, starting that right after Thanksgiving as a gift, and it's already setting you up. You can already start, setting some expectations for those people. What are their numbers that are going to be they're locked in for the next year. So that's
Another,
awesome.
yeah, sorry, another special thing we try to do is every year we'll offer, because we have their, email address and everything, we'll do a special deal. Hey, thanks for being a season pass holder with us this year. If you'd like to renew for 2025, we'll give you this special rate to try to get them to come back. And we've been really excited. There's several families that we all recognize because they come so much and they've been pass holders for a few years. So that's really neat to get to know your customers better.
Yeah, absolutely. Marissa, are there my next question, this is going into my next question about how do you kind of differentiate your spring and Easter experiences from, maybe other farms around you? And I mean, I feel like the pass holders or the season passes are a great way to do that. But Marissa, is there anything that you can think of that you're like, I like this thing, but we're gonna do it our way kind of thing?
No, well, one, I'm gonna say I love the fact that you guys do like gold wristbands for them. I think that makes
Yeah.
everybody feel like super special and adds that little element. So we always look for like small little surprise or making people feel special because of whatever kind of pasta they have or something like that. So I loved that. I would say for Easter, the couple ways that we looked to differentiate ourselves, because a lot of people do Easter egg hunts. Like even when we didn't know when we first did our Easter event. This was probably, I want to say 4 years ago, we maybe did our first egg hunt. And we never like previously did stuff on Easter Day, but we had 3 different small businesses come to us. Like one was a mortgage, real estate, insurance. And they're like, we want to host a community Easter event to promote our business. And we're looking for a host site. We thought you guys would be a great host site. And so it was great for us. We charged them a little bit in order to be able to cover our staff costs that day. And we offered hay rides and a couple other components. So I would say for Easter, the way that we differentiate from a lot of others that just have an egg hunt, because churches have egg hunts, Parks and Recs have egg hunts, is we look for other ways to make it a full encompassed event. And so this is the first year actually that we're charging for Easter, and we're charging a super nominal amount because there again is so many free Easter things around. But last year we did it on Easter and it was that like perfect storm of beautiful weather. It was probably like 60, 70 degrees. It was sunny. And Easter was like, I think early April. We were slammed. And Easter, our like event window is so small. It's like 1 to 4 p.m. So most days we have a lot of people on site, but they're coming throughout the day. And so this was like a 3-hour window. We probably had like 1,000+ guests on site in that 3-hour window. Like the lines for the bathrooms were crazy. The egg hunts were crazy. Like we were overwhelmed by the amount of children there and like lost control for part of our egg hunts. So this year we're like, okay, we have to put a little bit of a price on it just to help us crowd control, which is the only thing. Like we're not looking to make crazy money. We just wanted to be able to plan a little bit better. So we're doing $1 for adults. So kind of like Victoria, I think they said they do different prices for kids and adults. So we're doing $1 for kids or $1 for adults, $3 for kids. So a family of 4 could still come for under $10. And it has the egg hunt, and we do a different egg hunt per age group. So we have like littles and toddlers, and then we have like a 4 to 7 and then an 8 to 12. And so we try to balance the difficulty level of our egg hunt too. And so for like the 8 to 12, we do it in our pines and we kind of hide the eggs and make it really like a hunt, where for the toddlers, we put the eggs out in one of our apple fields. But we add other things happening. So we're running hay rides and it'll be to our blooms. So they get to see the blooms. We have apple cider donuts running. We have a DJ. So there's like fun Easter bunny music. Last year, we did a decorated egg contest, which we were surprised at how many people entered. I didn't think we'd have that many. So I was pleasantly surprised. We had like 15 to 20 and people like hard boiled their egg at home and they decorated it, and the creativity. We had somebody that like beaded their egg. We had all these that did really cool other creative designs. So that was really neat and something that we added to the event. I think one year we had a face painter. So we've tried to add extra elements to our egg hunt to make it a full Easter event rather than just a hunt. So I would say that is probably one way that we've tried to differentiate it versus other stuff that's happening in the community. I don't know, Victoria, Michelle, what do you guys do for your Easter?
So similar in the fact that for Easter, there's so many competing things and a lot of them are free. We have a really great business in our community right up the road from us that we adore, and they do this giant helicopter egg drop, which draws a lot of attention, understandably. So we kind of have tried to go in a little bit of a different direction. So we call it a chaos-free egg hunt. We do charge and we do time ticketing. And the chaos-free egg hunt is it's going continuously throughout the day. So every hour, on the hour for 45 minutes, the egg hunt area is open, and then we're gonna have like a 15-minute reset period. And then during that time, the people that are participating in the egg hunt, they'll get like a little card, and it'll say, find 3 pink eggs, find 2 blue eggs, or however it is. And so we've designed it more to be like, you're not all having to run at one time and get the eggs. We also, for our prizes, I think we've been kind of unique with that. We don't have the prizes in the eggs. Once the kid has completed the egg hunt, they're able to turn their eggs in, and then they get their choice of a prize. This year, we've had them pre-select their choice on their online ticket. So we hope that'll help us plan better, but they'll either get the choice of a kid's ice cream, a small kettle corn bag, like a kitty size bag of our kettle corn, or they can make their own treat bag. So kind of hoping that prize that they get is, better than like at other events, not that it's bad, but other events in the community, they open their egg and there's, a piece of candy inside. So just trying to do something a little different to try to stand out there. But yes, I totally agree with when the weather's good for an Easter event, it's like the floodgates open. But we've also had years that it's still really cold and Easter's hard. So it's a kind of hard event weather-wise, I think, to plan for. But us doing our online ticketing for that has really helped. This year, we also are, and I think we've done this a few years now. So I think it's really interesting that y'all do it on Easter Sunday. I love that. And we've had people come by on Easter Sunday, but we normally are closed Easter Sunday, but we do our egg hunt on Good Friday and Saturday. So we've had success with doing it on that Friday because a lot of people are off of work or off of school. So that would just be an idea to consider if you're thinking about having an event.
Another thing that we're doing this year around Easter is we are doing an add-on experience, which it will be donuts with the bunny.
Which we got from Millstone.
Yes. Yes. So we used to do a breakfast with the bunny, and we don't have a commercial kitchen. It was really hard. We work with a local nonprofit. The logistics were really hard. A lot of the people that catered really didn't want to do it, like Easter weekend and all that. So, and so it just got to be difficult. So yes, we borrowed that idea. So they're having an opportunity to decorate, to come be with the bunny, and we're having where they can actually decorate their donuts this year. So
we did that we do the donuts with Santa, and the same like concept with the decorating the donuts, and it's so fun to watch. I like when the parents come up, I say to them, I'm going to apologize in advance because like I'm pretty much just like sugar loading your child. Like here's donuts and then the whipped cream and the sprinkles and the syrup, and that is so fun. I hope it goes well for you guys.
Thank you.
That is such a unique opportunity, and I love the fact that their treats are things that you're already selling on the farm, because if that one kid manages to get their hunt done, little Susie may not have done it, but their parents are not going to let little Susie not have the kettle corn, they'll end up purchasing from you also. So that is such a neat idea. I love that. So we've got about 7 minutes left. Are there any questions that any of our viewers want to ask that we have not covered just yet? If there isn't anything, I will ask a last question.
I'll add one thing new that we're trying this year. I can't give a lot of guidance yet because we haven't hosted it. So come back to us on April 13th and I can share more. But we're doing our adult Easter event. And so we're trying to incorporate the cider house. And this is the first event that we're doing where we're including food with it. So it's a little bit of a heavier ticket price. I think we have it at $29.95, but it includes like a food buffet. So our cider house has flatbread. Yes, if you guys are nothing going on, come be a part of it. But it'll have flatbreads, some like slider components of what we have on our menu, our corn dip, and a couple other things for dessert. And we're trying to do kind of an adult Easter egg concept, ironing out the final details with it. But I feel like a lot of people, Easter's always targeted to the kids with the egg hunts, things of that sort. So we're trying something a little bit different by doing it's adult only, so an adult night out, whether it's just for friends or a date night kind of concept. But we're doing some fun competitions that are Easter themed and then also having prizes for it. So we are super excited. It's the first time that we're doing anything like it. So it'll be a lot of fun to learn and can share back any learnings next time. But we're excited.
That's so exciting. I love that y'all are doing something for adults.
I can't wait to hear about it. I bet it's going to be a fun event.
So it's been exciting to watch the tickets because, again, we do the online tickets too, which have been a game changer. And so every time we see tickets come in, I get so excited because it's one of those new events that you're like, are people going to be receptive to it? Are they going to have interest? So it's been fun to watch the tickets come in for it.
That's neat. That's neat. Well, I will ask this to wrap us up for today. What is one thing that you can say that, you either wish you knew or you suggest that other agritourism operators keep in mind for this season, spring and Easter?
I would say just to kind of think outside of the box. Like, of course, you want to think about the things that you're already doing on your farm. But for us, we realized if we wait until our strawberry season is here, we could be missing out on 3 weekends of activities if they're not here till the end of April. So trying to kind of add in things like Easter or an event with baby animals, people really want to just get outside, visit your farm. So what other kinds of things can you celebrate with spring? Like Millstone Creek doing the peach blossoms and stuff like that. Those are great ideas to kind of extend your season.
Yeah, or even the dirt field trips. It's like, I don't have flowers, but what you always have year round is dirt. That is exactly. So, and I don't know if you remember, like from elementary school, doing the dirt cups with the little gummy worms. Like, is that part of it?
Yeah. Well, we actually do the dirt layers, but we do it for a lot of our for all of our field trips. We do something that the teachers can take back and do in the classroom. So that's a suggested activity for them to do when they get back in the classroom to reinforce lessons learned. So yes.
I'd love that so much. Marissa, were you going to share something?
So I would say I totally agree with Victoria too, because you can never plan when things are going to bloom or when it's going to harvest. So like kind of having that outside of the box thinking of like, okay, what's our game plan if this doesn't happen or what could we do? I would say 2 things of like trying to incorporate no matter what you have. And I think Michelle said this earlier, but no matter what you have on your farm, looking for ways to be unique with it and be like, okay, we have this, so let's try to do this, of already incorporating something that you have. But the other thing that I would say is what value add products could you have on your farm to kind of round out the experience and theme it? So no matter what we try to do, whether it's spring, fall, Christmas, is we try to theme our retail products. We try to theme like our slushies, our donuts. We do an Easter bunny ice cream float that has an Easter peep on it for the spring season. We do strawberry donuts during strawberry season, although we don't have strawberries, our neighbor does, so we sell his strawberries. And so trying to theme out other items that you have on your farm to kind of match that season and give that well-rounded experience in the spring. I think people really like being able to come no matter if it's spring and they're getting that Easter bunny ice cream float, but then they can come back in the summer and get the peach pie ice cream float. So like having something each season that's a little bit unique across your other products too.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I really like the what you were saying, Victoria, about the golden wristbands for the season pass holders. Like those little opportunities to create a little FOMO, a little curiosity. Someone's like, why don't I have a golden wristband? And it's like,
Right.
you could get one, if you got this season pass. So some things like that seem pretty small, seem pretty inconsequential, but they can make a really big impact at the end of the day when you're looking at your ticket holders and looking at what things people engage with. So awesome. Well, thank you, all three of you, for sharing so much of your experience and your operation and your plans and your hopes for this season. I really appreciate you sharing all of that with us today. And for those of you watching the recording, if you have any questions, I would assume that you would email Christy about it. And she's the operator. She'll direct it to wherever it needs to go. But also follow them on all of their social medias, Patterson Farms and Millstone Creek Orchards, so that you can see the things that they talked about today in real time, see how they're doing those promotions and what some of the things, some of the ways that they do things a little bit differently. So thank you all so much.
Well, thank you. And we would love, I'll be happy to answer any questions anytime anyone has them. That's one of the beauties of this networking association is we can learn so much from each other. So I wish everyone a great spring season. I hope everyone has a great year with a great start with the spring.
Absolutely.
Yes. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.